Hello, my name is Peter Parfitt and welcome to the New Brick Workshop. Now behind me I've got my trusty CT26 which I bought over 11 years ago. It was part of my first batch of Festool purchases and it was before I started making videos. Now this machine is absolutely brilliant. You might not realise it, but I've given it a little dust off, especially to show you today. But it's seen a fair bit of action. Now there's one thing you can do to this is to add a remote control. It's a Bluetooth device. And my aim today is to show you how easy it is to fit it to your CT, 26, 36, 48, whichever one of those series of extractors you might have. Now, before we moved house, I think I've probably had about 5 or 6 requests to make a short video about the fitting of this Bluetooth gadget. And I'm sorry, I've no longer got the list of names. I've written them down on a piece of paper. But since we've moved here, I've had 2 people contact me. One is George, and George, I'm terribly sorry I didn't write down your location. The other one is David, who is from the north of England. And they both asked me about it and thank you, particularly David, thank you for reminding me. Anyway, so the gadget itself is the Festool 202097. Now that number may vary according to the country you're in or the type of electrical plug that goes into the socket on your machine. So for the UK it is 202097 and I'm going to fit this one now. And it goes for anything electrical that you're playing with, whatever you do. Don't just switch the switch off, but take the plug of the machine out. Now, when your gadget arrives in its little box, there's a very simple instruction. It's a pictorial instruction, which does indicate that you should unplug the cable. And then it tells you to remove the blanking plate, which is here on the right, and then simply push fit the gadget. That's how simple it is. I'll just show you all the bits that are in here. First of all, there's the little button, which is the gadget you do the on-off switching with, and it's also got a second button for getting the Bluetooth coordinated. And then underneath that, in the packaging, is the gadget itself. We'll look more closely at that in a second. And inside the box, at the very bottom, is this little set of instructions. I say little set, it's about ½ an inch thick because it's in about 5,000 different languages, including Klingon, I'm told. And there are also 2 straps, and these straps allow you to put the gadget with the strap around the end of a hose or whatever else is appropriate in your workshop. And the 2 are different lengths. And I've got a 36mm hose on my machine, so I think I'll probably need the longer of these 2. Anyway, back to this gadget. If you look on this side, there's a little connector here. And this connector has to unite with the connector inside your CT extractor. And let's do the fitting now so we can see how easy that is. Now, the first thing we've done is taken the mains lead out of its socket. Second thing is to remove this little blanking panel. Now I've got a 5mm hex driver here, and it's very, very simple. Just undo those. And we're keeping these screws, but we're going to hang on to this because what happens if you sell your extractor, you might want to keep the Bluetooth bit. So hang on to this so that you can reinstate things. And if we look down inside here, you can see there are all sorts of little connectors. And the ones we're interested for this gadget are down here. You'll see 4 pins sticking up. And those 4 pins are going to unite with this little socket arrangement here. And so we're going to position it like so. And very carefully, make sure you're not forcing it. Make sure it's going down absolutely easily with no fuss whatsoever. And push it in place. So now we can reinstate these screws, and that's that fitting done. Now in the little set of instructions it does show you how to change the battery or access the battery through this cover here. Now there's a large slot. Now not many of us have coins in our pockets these days, so I've got a big washer here. Push that in there, rotate it, and you can then get at the battery. And the battery is a CR2032. Anyway, I'm going to put that back in place. So that's now installed properly. And I'm using the longer of the two straps. And I'm going to fit this gadget to the end of this hose. So I've got one end of the strap over one side there. I'm going to wrap it around here and then onto the end of the hose. And it's as simple as that. Now I think it's time I put some power on to the extractor. Power is on. I'm going to switch this into automatic mode. You notice the Bluetooth light here gave a little flicker. Now in the instructions it says that straight out of the packet that this should work straight away, and when I had one of these before it worked straight away, but this time that's not the case. So I'm going to press this for 3 seconds, and you see that's now going around rapidly. I'm going to press the button on here. And so I press this button for 3 seconds, then I press the manual button here, and the two now are in sync. And I nearly forgot, David did ask me whether you could have more than one of these operational in a workshop. So if you've got 2 or more extractors, and the answer is yes, you can, because these set up a unique code between the receptor on the machine and the sender here. And if there was a clash, you just resync them the way I showed you earlier. Now, one of the beauties of the Bluetooth system is that you can get a Festool battery which has got a Bluetooth connectivity built into it. And so if I fit this battery to this masonry drill and you wanted to do a bit of extraction near the drill, so when the drill starts you want the vacuum to start, well, this is how you can do it. Now ideally I should do the demonstration of using, say, a battery powered saw or something like that, but this is the best I can do. I know I've got the little button there, I could press that, but just imagine how convenient it would be if you could just press this button and off you go. So this is how you go about it. You press this button once and you see on the extractor the little blue light going around slowly. And that process now has united the battery with the Bluetooth in the extractor. So every time I press this now, and I'll just prove I'm not pressing the button here. And it stops once the tool has stopped working. So that's really quite a useful feature. But for me, the real advantage of the Bluetooth is the fact that you can be doing a workshop cleanup, start the extractor whenever you need. Many thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.